Happy Friday, everyone. It is Friday again already. This week really got away from me. Um, Firstly, I hope everyone is staying warm. I know that we are. We got our first bit of snow. We have probably 4 inches out here, and I'm pretty proud of myself. Been holding down the fort. Dean is with some friends, and I have a friend over. So really kind of proud of myself. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put my email address in the chat again. I'm not sure if I did that before or not. And the reason that I'm doing this is that because tomorrow is going to be the day that I'm going to distribute the Christmas card list. And this is just your last chance effort to go ahead and send me your mailing address. If you would like to get a Christmas card, be on the Christmas card exchange, I'll be sending that out tomorrow. I'll be getting my cards in the mail. And I think this will be a real fun little thing. So if you haven't gotten your name over to me or your mailing address and you want to do that, make sure you get that done tonight. And then that way I'll go ahead and I'll send out the list tomorrow. I do have something very happy to report. I had a successful block yesterday. I had gotten in a really bad way. Really bad way. And Dean had told me, because I'd already had it moved up once, and Dean told me, he says, call and see if you can get in earlier. And so I did. And because of the snow, they said they had an opening the next morning at 9:00 in the morning. I was like, I am there. And so had a very successful block. It's been wonderful. So they're not sure how long it's going to last. So far, so good. I had a little bit of a twinge tonight startup. So I took one muscle relaxer. But since I got back home from the doctor's office yesterday, that's the first thing I've had to do. So I'm super happy. And I immediately came home yesterday and started doing stuff that, I was afraid that when the lidocaine wore off, it was going to be over, because that's what happened before. And so I canned up 10.5 quarts of chicken broth that I have been having in my roaster oven for longer than it should have been. Usually I only keep it on there 3 days, and it was almost 5. So it's good. I've tasted it. It's good. It's just extra rich. So who do we have on here so far tonight? Don't forget to say hi in the chat and let me know who is on here with me. But it couldn't have come at a better time, because I'm able to do chores. I came in and did the canning. My friend Betty and I, Dean had brought the Christmas tree in, but we were decorating it last night. I got some decorating done upstairs. And then today I did the chickens all by myself, water, everything, carried that thing out there, the dogs, the firewood. I feel like a normal person again. So we'll see how long it lasts. And hopefully it will carry me through for a while. So I wrote down those few updates. I told you about my snow. So other than that, it's been a really uneventful week, because all week long I was just doing my best to move around and to get around and to get meals done. Dean told me, he says, if you can get the meals done and the laundry done, he says, I'll take care of everything else. So I was kind of at that point, and let me tell you, it was so great. It's been so great. And so he left shortly after we got home, so he hasn't gotten to really see me doing, all these things. But he will when he gets back. So I know Lynn had snow. I didn't get to comment on the picture she shared with me, or that she shared on her social media, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. I didn't get any good shots of our snow here before the dogs and myself had stepped into it and ruined the most beautiful landscape. So I just, I thought, well, I'll wait till next time. Any plans? Any upcoming holiday special treats? Dean and I used to do the Polar Express every year. That's a train ride, about an hour from us, and it was just a lot of fun. And we've done it 2 or 3 times now. So this year, it's not cheap, and so this year I said, no, let's not do that. There was this place that has like a magic show and a light show and a chocolate tasting and all this kind of stuff. So I'm kind of thinking that we might do that. Also, last year, pretty sure it was last year, we went to dinner and a movie. My parents had sent us some money, and we went to dinner at Olive Garden, and then we went down to see Homestead in New Mexico. So that was a fun night. I like having date nights like that. So let me know of any of your plans, what you have coming up, if you're keeping warm. I'm hoping everybody is. I do apologize that I didn't get my video out this week. I did make a post about it. I really, really wanted to. I did not have the energy to do anything. I was so exhausted, and I was hurting so bad that I couldn't have filmed it anyway, because I'm going to have to get in the floor or sit on the step stool or something. And I just couldn't do that at all this past week. So I'm looking forward to shooting that hopefully tomorrow. And I'll get that back. I'll get that up as soon as possible. I see that I have something on here. It can't be my brother-in-law, because I know he's not on here. He has some other plans tonight. But let me know what you guys have got going on. I'd love to hear. Love to hear if you've had snow, how much snow you've had. I really don't have a whole lot more than that. So I would like to get to talk a little bit tonight with you guys. Get your take on how things are going wherever you are, what plans you have for winter, for holidays. Anybody doing special traveling? I know we're not. We're staying here. Anybody going to a warmer climate? And enjoying some sun. We used to go to Florida every Christmas when Dean's dad was still with us. And I think I've probably said it before. He was pretty down south. I mean, he was below Tampa. And it was always very, very, very warm, borderline hot for Christmas. And we would fly back home to Virginia, and it would be like a 50-degree difference by the time we got back. So it was kind of extraordinary there. I know a lot of you probably didn't think I was going to be doing live tonight with having injection yesterday, but I really want to kind of keep a roll going, especially during the winter. I know it'll get harder come summertime. It's going to be harder for everybody because we all have gardens to tend to, and it's, stays nice and light longer. It's already dark here. So while there's always plenty of stuff to do, I love being able to sit down and spend some time chatting with you guys. We've had such good chats the past couple weeks. I've really enjoyed them. I do look forward to them. So, but I understand everyone has busy lives. And I thought I was getting, if someone wants to message me in the chat rather than on my phone, that would probably be a lot easier. Okay. So I do appreciate you guys getting on here with me every Friday. And getting just to catch up with what's going on in our lives. I know we're pretty thin tonight, but I would like to hear from you. My mom was so disappointed because last week she says, I totally missed it. I totally forgot about it. I'm like, well, when you're there, let me know. She's famous for not doing that as well. Just kind of hanging and hiding out. But I told her, I said, go ahead and chat and let me know you're there. It kind of takes away some of the fun if I'm just talking to myself, or if it feels that way. So I'll give it a few more minutes, but like I said, that is basically what I have for tonight. If you were concerned about the Christmas card list, thinking I don't want to have 500 Christmas cards to do, as it stands right now, there's 5 names on the list. So that's not terribly bad at all. And I'm sure that anybody would love to get a Christmas card. Hey, Mom. Okay, well, I'm glad you let me know you're here. Is it cold there? Did y'all get some snow? Mom, did y'all get some snow your way? Or are you just taking all this time to text it in? If you're just popping on, Mom, we got 4 inches, so it's pretty out here. Oh, you guys did too. Nice. Wow. That's about what we got out here, 4 inches. But I'm telling you, it's been so cold though. It said it was supposed to get like 38, 40 today. No, it's probably been in the low 20s. And so The snow has, on the driveway and stuff melted some, but other than that, it is cold. I've been keeping a fire going all day long. I bet that's pretty out where you guys are. I wish I'd gotten some pictures of our place out here before the dogs and myself started trucking out into it. It was just so cold this morning, and I am not great in the cold, dark morning. And I was just trying to get chores done and get the chickens fed and water and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, oh, this would be so pretty to have pictures. And then I realized I did not have my phone in my back pocket. And I was just like, forget it. I'm not going back in the house, taking all this stuff, this winter stuff off, and, to take pictures. Sorry. But it's really pretty out here too. It's really pretty. I'm glad you guys got some snow. Is the snow keeping everybody indoors? Oh, I'm glad you guys have been. Betty and I were just getting the tree decorated last night, working on it, and I kind of petered out, but I'd been going all day, so I was happy. And so we took some pictures because Katie the cat was laying down on the Christmas tree. What's that thing called? On the bottom, Christmas tree skirt. She was laying on underneath all the lights. It was really pretty. But then I didn't want to use the picture because I realized that in the corner you could see the box fan that Dean uses up there when he says I blow him out of here with the wood stove. So I need to kind of pretty it up a little bit more. Yep, Betty is here. She is visiting with me while Albert and Dean are off doing some guy stuff. And he never said it, but he needed a day away. He's kind of been pulling double time for a while, and he needed a break from me. I know he did. I told him that he needed to get out for the weekend and just have some guy time. And then, of course, they wouldn't leave us, wouldn't leave me here alone, wouldn't leave Betty alone. So she and I just decided to spend the weekend together. So it's been nice. I know when we first came out here, we thought for sure we were going to get stuck in Virginia the first Christmas we came home because of snow. The year before we moved out here, we got one last huge, huge wet snow. It put us with no electricity for a week. And we stayed with some friends nearby. But yeah, when we came back and visited, you guys didn't have snow. And then when we got back to Denver, it had dumped 8 inches on the ground while we had been gone that night. And we had a heck of a time getting back over here because we went over Wolf Creek Pass, which is a huge, huge mountain pass, very high in elevation and slick. I think I held my breath the whole time. And when we got to the bottom of it, Dean says, "I'm really proud of you." So I was proud of myself too. So Mom, is Dad watching with you, or is it just you and I on here? Well, I know that we are like really, really early into the night. Yeah. Um, we're really, really into the night, and it's doesn't seem like very many people are able to join tonight. So I might just go ahead and call it. Like I said, I had some updates. I got those covered. I put my email address in the chat so that if anybody wants to get their mailing address to me by tomorrow, that would be great. Tonight would be even better because I'm going to go ahead and distribute that list. I'm going to go ahead and distribute that list tomorrow. Mom, it looks like we have one other person. I can't talk. One other person with us right now, but I don't know who it is. They have not said hi. So I can't see anything other than that. Yep. But I really don't have, I wrote things down as they came. I'll be filming tomorrow and I'll get that up as soon as possible. I'm in a place where I can do that again. And so if it's this quiet, and I'll just go ahead and call it for tonight, and I'll get the video up this week, and then we can plan to meet here next week. It looks like we've had a couple more join. Yes, Mom, I do. No, do not send me your email address. Since you're Mom, and if you want to be on the Christmas card list, I will put you on there now because I know your address. So is that what you want me to do, so that when I distribute the little list tomorrow, you'll be on there and you can do that with other people as well? Like I said, do you need me to send you my email address so I can be put on the Christmas card list? No. What I'm going to do is I will add you to it right now. And tomorrow, I'm going to, okay, I've just put you on it just now. Tomorrow, I'm going to email out a list to everyone that wants to participate, that has already emailed me with their mailing address and wants to participate. I will do it in blind copy so that nobody has each other's email address. And then I will just list the names and the mailing addresses to those that are participating that wanted to send and receive Christmas cards. So that will go out tomorrow. And so that no one panics, there's now 6 on the list. The chickens are doing well. I thought 2 had died this morning. It was bitterly cold over during the night, and the ones in the coop were fine. I went out there to do my usual with them, and then usually when I'm at the coop, I hear the garden chickens. They'll be, yelling for me because they want food too. And I didn't hear anything this morning. And I got a little concerned. So I just kept doing the chores with the other chickens, and they were just quiet. And I thought, well, and when I got down toward the garden gate, I saw that their little house, that there was all kinds of straw out in front of it. And Dean and I had both gone to the co-op and gotten an extra bale of wood chips and an extra bale of straw, so that the wood chips we threw down in the run to absorb all that moisture in there, and then extra straw to go in the garden chickens' little apartment there. And I guess they got hot, which shocked me, but they pushed a lot of it out the door when they came out this morning, and they were just down there roaming around, and they were fine. So They're doing good though. They're doing good. Got 2 eggs today, which shocked me. I really would prefer not to get eggs right now at all because, even though I go ahead and I give them food and water in the morning, when I go out there in the afternoon, I've been going out there around 4 o'clock, and I don't want to find eggs then because I don't know when during the day they were laid, and I just don't want them to get frozen. So, um, when I do get an egg here and there, I give it to the dogs. They've been fine, but if I don't know, if I'm not on it right away. Well, they're not supposed to be laying this time of year anyway, but some of them do. Um, like I said, I had 2. I had my little red hen, and I can tell what eggs are hers because they're very, very dark red, and or they're almost like a reddish chocolate type color. And then the white ones, I've only got 1 leghorn, so they're the only ones that lay white eggs. So, yes, I still have 2 chickens in the garden. I think that they're going to remain there all winter. I really do. Um, you know, the black one, I feel good that I could put her back. Um, but the other one, I'm not ready to put her back yet because she still doesn't have like her wing feathers, and that bothers me. And I really don't want her to be by herself, especially when it's cold. So I'll probably put them both up there again when the weather's better. Maybe I'll do it later this winter, but we'll just have to see. Hey, Bree, no worries. I was almost getting ready to call it because it just, I could see that we had, it was very slim pickings, but I gotten through a couple updates. But I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. The chickens did do okay in the snow. It was so funny because I was down there, and as I put more straw in there again today, I was like, wow, they threw some of this out. And then I went and got the pitchfork, and it kind of freaked me out at first because I saw these really weird tracks inside the garden. And I thought, oh God, I don't want to have to deal with anything. And I looked down and I realized that they were chicken tracks, and they looked so weird in the snow. They looked really big, I guess, where they had kind of gone through. I don't know. Good for you, Bree. What'd you have for dinner? What'd you make? That is a great feeling of accomplishment. Yes. I was just saying I came in from my shot and I canned 10 quarts of chicken broth. I bet he was happy. I bet your hubby was happy. It's hard for them to go without us cooking. That's for sure. You have to let us know what you made tonight. Hey, casserole's great, especially when you haven't been able to cook. That's good. We've had soup here the past 3 days just because it's been so cold. We had chili, and then the guys left, and so Betty and I just warmed up chicken soup that I had canned. And then today I was like, it still hasn't warmed up, so I made hamburger soup and put a little bit of elbows in it, and it's been good. So we've just been eating on that. When it is cold out, I want comfort food or I want soup. That's the one good thing too when you're home is like you make a big pot of soup or something, you can just eat on it all day. Don't have to worry about it. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure he was. Get tired of the soup every night. Yeah. Um, we haven't had it in a long time, but yeah, I can't imagine. I would have to pre-make Dean's meals or something, or he'd be eating in the trailer out of the microwave. I don't know, but yeah, he likes it when I cook for him too. He does not do anything in the kitchen. He is helpless in the kitchen. I don't want him in the kitchen. Betty and I were talking about that tonight. We each have our own strengths. She saw something outside that he had built, and just, on a whim. And I said, "Oh yeah, that's kind of like what he does. He'll get up around here and he'll get an idea, and then he'll go outside and he'll be building something." And we just kind of keep to our strengths that way. I don't want him in the kitchen, and he doesn't want me building anything, out in the shop. But Betty and I were both talking. We're pretty proud of ourselves. We're holding down things pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Dean helps me by in the mornings from the dishes where I do them the night before, he will put them away. But whatever is in the drain board that he doesn't know where it goes, he just sits it on top of the island. So I'm like, why don't you just leave it in the drain? Because then now it's all over the top of the island. But he does pretty good. He tries to help me out with stuff like that. But he has borne a huge brunt of the winter workload around here. Last year, even though I felt bad, he would bring the wood he chopped, and I would help stack it. And I didn't do that this year. I couldn't move. I just couldn't this year. He knew it. So I'm glad that he's getting some guy time. Mom, I would not want Dad in my kitchen either. I mean, he and Dean are similar that way. No, I've worked in your kitchen. I don't want Dad in there either. Bree, I did get your address. Thank you. Yes, and I'm sorry I haven't responded to your email yet, but I need to. But as I was saying, I'm going to go ahead and distribute the Christmas card list tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and email it to everybody with the names and addresses of those who are participating. I will put the email addresses in a blind copy, just, since those don't need to be shared. But other than that, right now, my mom just let me know to add her to the list. And, I don't need her to email me because I know her address. So I'll be sending that out tomorrow. But right now, there's like 6 on the list. So I'm excited about that. And I got my Christmas cards done. So I need to wait till the snow clears up a little bit before getting down to the post office. But I've got several packages down there waiting on me, and I've got to get this stack of cards out. I cannot do that. Most people can point to things behind them. It's a mirror reflection. I can't do it. I'm not that talented. Does who know where Rocky Mount is in Virginia? My mom and dad live in Rocky Mount. I was just saying that I know her address, so she had asked me if she needed to email me, and I'm like, no, I know your address. Now, Bree, was it you that had family in Callaway? Yeah, my mom knows. Yeah, my mom lives in Rocky Mount. My mom and dad do. But I thought, was it you that had family in Callaway? I know that's really nearby. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I know where that is. And I'm positive my dad does too, because I'm sticking to the back of a chair. He worked with the public out there for many, many years. Mom, you'll have to ask Dad about the family name Prillaman. You'll have to ask Dad because, like I said, Bree, my dad worked with the public for many, many years out that way. And I bet you at some point he may have come in contact with your family. That'd be great. They're in cemetery. My dad was a funeral director for 42 years. So a lot of people in that area, Franklin County, Rocky Mount, all that area, he's handled a lot of services for people. Oh, wow. Mom, it looks like Prillaman, Prillaman. But you'll have to ask Dad. Let us know. That'll be interesting. Back to the Revolutionary War. The thing that really kind of intrigued me when I saw that movie Lawless and realized that it was about a family in Franklin County. I remember asking my dad, I was like, I would love to know where in those hills that family, lived. And he advised me not to go rolling around the back roads of Franklin County. That's really cool to go back to the Revolutionary War. I'm really interested in genealogy. I've been trying to do some on my family, and I think the farthest I've gotten, because our family, came from England, and I was able to trace my mom's side of the family back to their voyage, and they came in around the Virginia area, and a lot of her family ended up, which is now West Virginia. Before it became West Virginia, it was all Virginia. But yeah, that's really cool to be able to go back and know your family history that far. My dad's family, I haven't been able to get that far back. On my dad's side of the family, I can go back 2 greats, but they're still, that doesn't show them coming from another country. But my mom's did, which was really funny because I expected it to be the other way around. You just never know. You just never know. Oh, see, you just can't. I don't understand that. Like, whether the kids today aren't interested, or there was just no better time in our lives, and like we could go visit family, do things like that, whether it be for the summer or school breaks or whatever, before constant technology. I know I say that on a live stream, but I think some of it's good, but I think some of it's moving way, way ahead of us, that we lose sight of our in-person interactions. Go to Floyd to buy material. When I went in through Greensboro when I went to go back and see my parents, and we would go to Martinsville. We went there to eat and stuff like that. But, of course, my dad's just now getting to where he's getting back out some, I think, but not anything major. Schoolhouse. I remember going to the piece goods shop with my mom, and they used to have this big carousel full of buttons and stuff. And I remember I would just, put my hands there and look at all the different buttons and stuff like that. But I remember my mom going to the piece goods shop when I was little. My mom made us some stuff from time to time. Isn't it funny, the things that we remember? Of course, uncle lived in Martinsville. It is just a small world. It's funny how that works out that way. I think that's so cool. And here we ended up on the other side of the country, huh, Mom? Dean and I did. Ferrum College. Is that what the one you're talking about, Bree? I have some nephews that are at Ferrum. Yeah. So Bree, is your daughter interested in any of the stuff like that, from the past? Like, I guess like the family farm or, learning to, you know, crafts, hobbies like, quilting, crocheting, sewing, things like that. My daughter had a very brief interest, very brief, because I think when we still lived back there and I was really starting to pressure can pretty heavy. And she used to like to come and shop in our grocery store, in our basement, with stuff I had made. And I remember telling her, saying, you got to help me can if you're going to continue to take this out of the house. And so she got interested. And this year she grew, next to her apartment, she grew like a squash and a cucumber and some jalapeno peppers. But I think that's probably the extent of it. I don't know. I'd love to, see my kids kind of take to this kind of lifestyle, but I don't even know if that's even, it seems a little far-fetched, I guess. Oh, yes, I do know what you mean. My son is an old soul. Yes. Oh, that's good that you can share that with her. My daughter's not. Um, yeah, my daughter's not. She's very much about she seems to be like, the latest and greatest, and she loves doing makeup tutorials and makeup, and she does stuff like that. My son is an old soul. Um, he has gotten his fill of the city, and I'm hoping he's supposed to come out here, and he talked to Dean, but he's supposed to come see us for a visit soon. And he just hasn't committed himself to a date with us yet. But he talked to Dean the other night, but he didn't talk to me. So I'm hoping there may be a surprise in the works. Oh, cool. What did she win the blue ribbons for at the state fair? That is awesome. Now, my daughter is a fantastic photographer. She has a natural gift with it. But she just needs a little more discipline. But she has a fantastic gift, and we had some of her stuff framed, and we had it for sale at one of the shows that I did. But the thing was, I told her, I said, if you want to sell these, you've got to come with us, and you got to sit there all day and to sell your stuff. But so I'm hoping that one day she'll be more motivated. Oh, competition quilts, only your quilts. Well, shoot, that's a lot of work. It's a lot for quilting anyway. I've got some stuff I'm working on. I'll be honest, I'm not going to finish it in time for Christmas, just for the simple fact that while I have heat down there in the trailer, I don't go down there and turn it on every morning. And if I want to go down there and sew every day, I need to. And I just don't because I don't get out in the cold. And so I just haven't gotten it done. But I have some other things I can send out for gifts. Wow, 15 things every year. Wow. Yeah, my daughter doesn't have the patience to sew or quilt or anything like that. She's very talented, but they're just in different ways. She just, my son would be a huge help out here. He's a hard worker. He always has been. He's a very hard worker. But up until recently, he was very much about the city and the city life. And he was always dressed to the nines. And he's always kept real good care of himself. I tell my mom, he looks good, smells good. You know, he'll be a great catch to some lady one day. But he's had his fill. And so I'm hoping that he'll like it out here. And because he is strong and he's a hard worker. And I know that we could use his help. I do need to talk to him then, Mom, because if he found a lot on Dad's side, I found a lot on your side. So, oh, your daughter's gone to full-time gardening. How nice. I think my daughter would enjoy that. I think my daughter would too, because she got real excited when she saw her stuff growing and she wasn't 100% sure what to do with it once it came in. Um, but I think she would like to have more space. I don't think that her getting like one cucumber or two cucumbers, in this little area next to her porch and a couple, a handful of jalapeno peppers was um, enough for her to like kind of keep her interest, and it's a lot of work. And she had some disappointment. She would come home from work and she would see that a bunny had, eaten some of her stuff. So I was just telling her that's all part of it. No matter how big your garden is, we all fight it. But I'm already looking at I don't know why I'm looking at the catalogs for seeds, but I am. I can't help it. But I'm super excited because now knowing I'll get to be down there gardening instead of just tossing seeds wildly about. I'm excited to see what's going to come up since I did do some of that. And I'm excited to put in a new herb garden. And hey, Wyatt. And just excited to be able to do those things. Brie, I think so. This week, be honest with you, without with the exception of making the post about tonight, I have not been on hardly at all. Let me look real quick because now I'm curious. Yeah, 2,200 views. So I don't think you were on when I mentioned that just this week. I was so out of it. And when we called and I was able to get my nerve block moved up to yesterday morning. So that was successful. It hurt like the dickens. I had 8 needles put in my back because after reading the report, I have bilateral facet degeneration. So, down that whole side, L2, 3, 4, and 5. And so, even though it hurt like the dickens, when I left there, I was sore. But by the time I got home, an hour away, I was like feeling like so good, like a new person. And so I remember telling Dean, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get this canning done while I can, because we didn't know what was going to happen once the lidocaine wore off. And I was afraid, you know. So now I'll go back on the 23rd, and depending on how I feel, and then we'll just get set up for the ablation. But I am so ready to feel good again. So it's been exciting. It's been an exciting 24 hours. Yeah, I am too, Mom. I'm telling you, I called, and because originally the first one wasn't scheduled till January 19th. And I called. I'm like, does this, because my surgeon wanted me to have this particular doctor because he is the best at doing this. And my back is a little tricky. And so she said, I want you to have him do it. And I said, okay, because, she had said that before, and I had him do it, and he was fantastic. So the first thing he had at that time was January 19th. And I remember I called and said, does he have anything sooner? Did something pop open? I'm in a lot of pain. They said we have December 23rd. So night before last, I was, in a really bad way. And Dean said, I haven't seen you this bad. And I said, yep. He says, call in the morning and see if you can get something. So Wednesday morning, I called and I said, anything possibly. She says, we just got a cancellation because of the snow. Can you be here at 9:10 in the morning? And so we were there. And I got it done. So I'll have the second one done now on the 23rd. And then hopefully the ablation very soon after that. I just don't want to get back to that spot where I was. And that's why I didn't film a video all week. I couldn't. I'm going to do, I have written down the title that Bree suggested, and I am going to do the organization of the island. It needs to be done. I'll be honest, I'm dreading it. But at the same time, I could not get the camera set up on the tripod, and I could not sit on the footstool or on the little step stool to do it. And I was just so exhausted. So I was like, okay, now I'm feeling like a normal person, and I will get this filmed tomorrow, and then I'll edit it and get it up just ASAP, because I know that I'm missing a video this week, and I'm sorry. So thank you, Bree. You guys just don't know how much that means to me, because it does stress me a little bit, because I hate the feeling like I'm letting somebody down. And so if I'm like, okay, I have a part 2 coming out, and then, something crazy happens and I'm not able to get to it, I worry about it. I'll be like, oh, I hope that they just, they'll be patient with me and just hang on. I'm going to do it. It will be the next one that I do. I just feel so bad about it. But I totally get it, because there's other YouTube channels that I follow that have had stuff come up, and it's just, I totally understand. We will be here. Yes, Azure is selling seeds again, and so far I don't need anything from Azure. I want things, but I was looking, because I also know they're doing those flash sales, and I don't need anything that they're having on the flash sale. And my goal is not to have an order till February, March. And right now I really don't need anything, but I'm going to be putting seeds in my cart. That's for darn sure. I have some that I had left that are in the freezer, some from Baker Creek and some from Azure. But I think I'm going to get more herb seeds, because the chickens really did a number on my oregano. But it'll come back. I feel pretty certain. They didn't bother the rosemary, or maybe just ate little picky bits off of it. But where I have all that rock around the pollinator garden, I would love just to get some crazy stuff growing out of there, and I want to start a new herb garden. And my time just burned up in the pollinator garden. So I've got some ideas. I just need to get to looking all the seed catalogs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I am always a sucker for seeds. It's like seeds, yarn, fabric, things like that. You know, Dean said, "You have more yarn than you will ever use in your lifetime." And I said, "Don't say that because you just never know." But he might be right. But I am such a sucker for vintage fabric. I've seen some online, I've purchased, and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to make with this yet, but it's just so darn cute. And then I know at Hobby Lobby, they sell some vintage fabric from time to time, and I've gotten some there. Bree, it's not hard to kill time for some reason. I mean, the year before last, I had a big patch of it growing down one side of the bed, and I didn't get it covered in time for the first, wasn't even a frost, it was just first cold night. I thought maybe it would come back, didn't. So then it seemed to do well in the sun in that bed. So I put it in my pollinator garden in the sun, and it burned up this year. So go figure. So it's just kind of hit or miss, but I'm learning what I can put out here. I know that whereas, you know, back in Virginia, I had lavender that would grow out in the sun. It gets burned up here. So I've, you know, it's got to be in the shade. So, you know, I've killed some things and some things are doing fine. So I'm learning still. Takes a long time. Rosemary just grows beautifully and it smells so good. And I just don't want to go out there and clip any of it now. I should have sooner, but I didn't. Um, I was making like little simmer pots for here in the house, and it smells so good when you simmer it on the stove. My sage is going crazy, crazy. And I'm so happy about that because I planted sage in the garden bed, and then I have a small little um, bed that sits on the ground that is just nothing but several sage plants. So um, I've dried a lot of that this year too. But I mean, we don't eat a ton of sage, but it smells really good. It smells really good at the holidays too. And but it is a good pest deterrent. If you have roses, mom, if you have roses, sage is a good protector of roses. And I had planted a rose bush, and some chipmunk ate it before I got my sage growing out of the ground. So, anyway. Wow. I don't know what you could have done to kill it either. But your Christmas cactus, I think I told you how gorgeous it looks. I'm not sure I could. That's talent. Yeah. So I think I might try. I don't know. I don't know if I'll try the roses again this year. I need to plant something new and something pretty um, in my garden this year. I want to do it in Annie's memory, my friend that our friend that we lost this past fall, early fall, late summer. Oh, your house came with 10 rose bushes. Nice. Nice. Yeah, the deer will eat your roses, and so will the chipmunks or squirrels or anything else like that. But the lavender and the roses is real pretty too. Mom, you've got pretty roses. But well, we're approaching the hour, guys, and I'm really glad you guys popped on here, and we got to chat longer after all. I'm really happy about that. I've had a good time visiting, and again, be looking in your email box tomorrow for our list. Ooh, miniature roses. That's a good idea, Mom. All righty. I will think of something and we will chat soon next week. And everybody have a great week, okay? Bree, I'm glad you made it too. I'm super glad. Is glad to talk to everybody here tonight. And I'll talk to you later in the week. All right. Take care.